It's 3 a.m. You can't sleep. And there's only one person on your mind. You've tried everything: distraction, dating other people, blocking them on social media, but they're still there, living rent-free in your head. Why? Why can't you move on when they clearly have? The reason you can't stop thinking about them has everything to do with your zodiac sign. Each sign gets obsessed for different psychological reasons, and today, I'm going to reveal exactly why you can't let go, and more importantly, how to finally break free. Stay until your sign, because what I'm about to tell you will change everything. Let's dive in. Aries, the unfinished competition. Aries, you're not in love. You're in competition. They left before you could win them completely. They rejected you first. They got bored first. They moved on first. And your ego cannot handle that. You don't miss them. You miss the challenge. You miss the chase. You miss the conquest. The psychology. Aries has a warrior mentality. When someone walks away, you see it as a battle you lost, and Aries doesn't lose. So your brain obsesses over winning them back, not because you want them, but because you need to prove you could have them if you wanted. How to break free. Realize that moving on is the win. They're living in your head rent-free. That means they won. The moment you stop caring, you reclaim your power. Action step. Channel that competitive energy elsewhere. New goal, new challenge, new victory. Leo, the wounded pride. Leo, this one's going to hurt. You can't stop thinking about them because they stopped thinking about you. Your ego is destroyed. How dare they not worship you? How dare they move on like you weren't the best thing that ever happened to them? You keep replaying every moment trying to figure out where you lost them, because Leos don't get left. Leos do the leaving. The psychology. Leos tie their self-worth to how others perceive them. When someone stops wanting you, it creates an identity crisis. Your brain obsesses because it's trying to restore your self-image. How to break free. Remember, their inability to see your worth doesn't decrease your value. A mirror doesn't stop being beautiful when a blind person walks past it. Action step. Find validation in yourself. Journal daily. I am enough because, not for them, for you. Sagittarius, the rare anchor. Sagittarius, you're the sign that never gets attached. You're the runner, the free spirit, the one who ghosts. But this person, they got through your walls, and now you can't stop thinking about them because they were the only person who made you want to stay. The psychology. When someone commitment phobic finally finds someone worth committing to, losing them creates devastating cognitive dissonance. Your brain obsesses because this contradicts everything you thought you knew about yourself. How to break free. Understand that just because they were special doesn't mean they were right. Sometimes the right person comes at the wrong time. Honor what they taught you, but let them go. Action step. Write them a letter you'll never send. Say everything. Then burn it. Release it to the universe. Taurus, the comfortable addiction. Taurus, you're thinking about them because they became your routine, your morning coffee ritual, your Saturday night person, your comfort zone. You don't just miss them, you miss the life you built around them. The psychology. Taurus craves stability and comfort. When someone becomes part of your routine, losing them disrupts your entire sense of security. Your brain obsesses because it's trying to return to normal. How to break free. Create new routines, new coffee shop, new Saturday ritual, new comfort zone that doesn't include their ghost. Action step. For 21 days, the habit formation period, do something different every day at the time you used to be with them. Virgo, the perfectionist's analysis paralysis. Virgo, you can't stop thinking about them because you're still analyzing what went wrong. If I had said this instead, if I hadn't done that, if I could just fix this one thing. You're not mourning the relationship. You're obsessing over the puzzle you couldn't solve. The psychology. Virgos need to understand and fix things. An ended relationship is an incomplete project that your brain refuses to let go of until you figure it out. How to break free. Accept that some things don't have neat explanations. Sometimes people leave, and it's not about something you could have fixed. It just ended. Action step. Write down every scenario you've analyzed. Then write, none of these matter now. It's over, and that's okay. Read it daily. Capricorn, the failed investment. Capricorn, brutal truth time. You're thinking about them because you invested time, energy, and planning into them. And Capricorns don't waste investments. You planned your future with them. You saw the trajectory. You built the blueprint. And now that investment failed, and you can't get your time back. The psychology. Capricorns view relationships like business ventures. When an investment fails, you obsess over the sunk cost, all that time, energy, and planning that's now wasted. How to break free. Reframe it. That wasn't wasted time. It was data. Now you know what you don't want. You're smarter for the next investment. Action step. Make a list of what you learned. Turn the failure into valuable intel for your future. Gemini, the unfinished conversation how you can't stop thinking about them. Gemini, you can't stop thinking about them because you never got closure. There are things you didn't say, things you didn't ask, things left unsaid. Your brain is torturing you with all the conversations you'll never have. The psychology. Geminis are ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. When communication gets cut off abruptly, it creates mental chaos. Your brain obsesses because the story doesn't have an ending. How to break free. Give yourself closure. You don't need them to have it. Have the conversation with yourself. Say what you needed to say, to your mirror, to your journal, to the universe. Action step. Record a voice note to them. Say everything. Listen to it once, delete it. You've said it. It's done. Libra, the incomplete fairy tale. Libra, you're thinking about them because they were supposed to be your happily ever after. You romanticized them. You saw the potential. You saw who they could be with you. And you can't let go of the fairy tale version you created in your head. The psychology. Libras are ruled by Venus and crave partnership. You don't just fall in love with people. You fall in love with the idea of you together. When it ends, you're not mourning who they were. You're mourning who you imagined they'd become. How to break free. Grieve the fantasy. It's okay to be sad about what could have been. But remember, you fell in love with potential, not reality. Action step. Write 2 columns. Who I thought they were versus who they actually were. Face the truth. Aquarius, the intellectual puzzle. Aquarius, you can't stop thinking about them because they're the one person you couldn't figure out. You pride yourself on understanding people, on being detached, on being logical. But them? They got under your skin in a way you can't logically explain. The psychology. Aquarius intellectualizes everything to avoid feeling. When someone makes you feel deeply, it contradicts your self-image. Your brain obsesses trying to solve why they affected you so much. How to break free. Accept that love isn't logical. You don't need to understand why you felt so much. You just did. And that's human. And that's okay. Action step. Allow yourself to feel without analyzing. Cry without knowing why. Be messy. Be human. Cancer, the eternal home. Cancer, the hardest truth. You can't stop thinking about them because you made them your home. And Cancer doesn't just leave home. They weren't just a person. They were your safe space, your emotional foundation, your everything. The psychology. Cancers attach deeply and completely. You don't date casually. You merge souls. When it ends, you don't just lose a person. You lose your sense of home. Your brain obsesses because it's trying to find its way back to safety. How to break free. Build a home within yourself. You are your own safe space. You always were. They just reminded you what home felt like, but you created that feeling. Action step. Create a self-care ritual that makes you feel at home in your own body. Bath, candles, journal, music, whatever makes you feel safe. Do it weekly. Scorpio, the soul connection. Scorpio, no sugarcoating. You can't stop thinking about them because you gave them your soul. Scorpios don't do surface level. When you love, you consume. You shared your darkness, your secrets, your depths. You let them see you. And now they're gone, carrying pieces of your soul with them. The psychology. Scorpios experience love as soul fusion. Losing someone feels like losing part of yourself. Your brain obsesses because it's trying to retrieve the parts of you they took. How to break free. Reclaim your power. They don't have your soul. You gave them access, and you can take it back. Every piece of you that you gave them, call it home. You're whole without them. Pisces, the soulmate delusion. Pisces, the painful truth. You can't stop thinking about them because you convinced yourself they were your soulmate. You felt a connection, a cosmic pull, a meant to be. And Pisces doesn't let go of destiny. The psychology. Pisces lives in fantasy and spiritualizes everything. When you meet someone you connect with, you immediately assign cosmic meaning. Your brain obsesses because if they weren't your soulmate, then maybe you can't trust your intuition. And that terrifies you. Action step. Reframe the narrative. Instead of, why did I lose my soulmate? Ask, what was I meant to learn from this soul connection? The universal truth. Here's what all 12 signs need to hear. You can't stop thinking about them because your brain is trying to protect you from pain. It's easier to obsess than to grieve. It's easier to hope than to accept. It's easier to replay the past than to face the future without them. But here's the thing. Every minute you spend thinking about them is a minute you're not building your new life. The life where you're not an option. The life where you're chosen. The life where you're free. And that's when you'll know you're free. Final message. The person you can't stop thinking about? They're not thinking about you like this. And that's not a diss, that's data. Someone who was meant for you wouldn't make you feel like this. The right person won't make you question. They'll make you certain. So let go of the person who left and make space for the person who'll stay.